All right, well, I just pulled into my campsite and it's nearly 9:15 p.m. and I'm tired as could be. It was quite the afternoon because I called. Let me see if I can recap what happened. So, got stuck, tried everything I could to get out, backwards, forward, turn the wheel left, turn the wheel right, nothing would happen. Put down the mats that I had, that wouldn't do anything. And I revved the engine up to on nearly 4,000 RPM and it still would not budge. So I thought, I don't want to break it. I don't want to make things worse. I don't want to hurt the tires because it was just spinning, and I could smell kind of a burning smell. Then I come back up here to my rig and I'm hanging out here waiting to hear from AAA. They were sending me updates, and they were sending me updates saying, we're expanding the area, we're trying to find somebody, we're having to expand the area, and it sounded like they were kind of having trouble finding somebody, and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. And I was right, actually. So then the park ranger pulls up, and I looked out my window at him, and his face was like, like he knew I was in quite the pickle. He looked around and he said, yeah, you're stuck there. And he said, this is kind of new. We just opened this up literally today, and we had to close down the normal route to get to the campground because it's of erosion. So we opened this up, but obviously it's too steep of a road. And so RVs can get stuck. So they ended up closing it down. After waiting from about 3:45 to about 6 o'clock. So what was that? Like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I waited. So I called them and they said, okay, it's going to be another hour at least. If you don't hear back, call us back again. And I didn't hear a peep. So I waited an hour, called a third time. And I finally got somebody to help me. And she said, yeah, we'll have somebody out there in half an hour. So finally they got out here at about, I don't know, 8 o'clock or so. It was just around sundown. And he just was driving a regular truck. It wasn't a tow truck. And he had a winch, and it was easy. He just winched my the tow thing in the back, and was able to pull it up and out. And it was really easy to get it out. It wasn't scraping bad or anything. I don't think there was any damage done or anything. So I'm really relieved that there was no damage. And I'll look at my tires tomorrow, but the park ranger looked at them and he thinks they're fine. And so I think I got out of it unscathed. Everything worked out well. I'm just tired and I was going to head to bed right away and enjoy this nice quiet. I can hear the waves and stuff out there. But yeah, the park ranger was so kind. He was really, we hit it off. We were laughing and laughing and laughing. We were just cracking up jokes right and left. And I had a good time with him. He helped pass the time to have somebody to hang out with and talk to. And he was telling me about his job, how much he loves his job. He loves working out here. He lives just up the road, and he loves living in such a gorgeous area where it's so quiet, because it's pretty remote out here, and I think he's a single guy. So, he's got to love, nature to be able to be willing to put up with being so far out here like this. He says he works 9 months out of the year. And so, yeah, we kind of got to know each other. I'll probably see him some more this weekend while I'm here. And, yeah, we were cracking each other up. That was really fun to crack each other up. Telling stories and stuff. So that was really cute. That was fun. It just helped pass the time. It helped to know that somebody cared and was willing to make sure I was going to be okay. I mean, so many kind people today, the couple, the young man, and then the 2 park rangers, and even the guy who came out with the tow truck. He was very kind. I mean, everybody was nice. Nobody mean. Nobody, even the AAA people were kind on the phone with me. And the park ranger said to me when the third time I called, he was listening in on my call, he said, "You are so patient." He says, "I would not be this patient." And I'm like, well, it doesn't really help much to get all upset. It's not good for me. I don't think it gets you anywhere. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe the squeakiest wheel does win, but I just wanted to be lighthearted about it and trying to go with the flow, you know, and it's all worked out just fine. And I had a good time, actually, just talking to the park rangers and meeting some nice people and seeing the good side of people. Really warmed my heart. So I'm going to go to bed. Oh, God. Saw a beautiful sunset tonight. It was gorgeous. Too bad I couldn't film it. I'll film later. I'm going to be staying here, I think, 3 nights. I paid for 3 nights, so I'm going to stay for 3 nights. So I got some sunsets, I'm sure, coming ahead. I wanted to let my viewers know that I've started a second channel. It's a relaxation channel, sort of a Zen channel, if you will, a mood channel, ambient channel, falls in the similar category. And I will put a link to the channel in the description of this video. The channel name is called Escape to Unwind. And I'm experimenting with some different types of videos and having fun with it. I haven't gotten that many views, but it would be terrific if some of my viewers could go over there and take a look, because the algorithm might find, you know, my videos better. The more views you can get, the better, and hopefully increase some traffic to the videos. So again, I will put the link to my second channel in the description, and it's mostly faceless, silent, relaxation type videos. A lot of them are at the ocean with water and the coast and waves, and it's kind of content you might want to play when you're like reading, or you are working, or you're making a meal, or you even want to just relax and fall asleep, or it's been a hard day at work, or just a hard day in general and you just need some calm video. It's they're long form videos, so they're usually about an hour, so it gives you plenty of time to just relax and decompress from a hard day. And you know, I really love making people feel relaxed, and you know, I try to seek it in my own life, you know, and like I talked about before, being with nature. So I enjoy filming it. I enjoy putting it out there. We have fast-paced, busy lives, keeping ourselves busy all the time, and I just think it's a good thing to slow down and just really immerse yourself in some nice ambient mood type of music or visuals. So go check it out. I know I have a lot of wonderful viewers, so it would be great to have your support. Thanks so much. Just woke up, and look at this view that I have. Not a bad view, right? Falling asleep to the sounds of the ocean is wonderful. I slept well on my little bed here. I woke up this morning with a little slight headache. I don't think I drank enough water yesterday, and probably the stress of yesterday didn't help. I don't think I have any campers right next to me. Let me see. Let's open up this side. Yeah. The closest campers to me. So there's like 2 spots here that aren't taken. God, what a beautiful view. That is gorgeous. This is the northernmost campground of this park. Supposedly there's 95 spots here. I guess there's 3 different sections. And where I was kind of the middle section where I got stuck. And this is the northernmost, and this is, he was telling me this is the nicest one. The other ones can kind of be more of a party atmosphere, and the sites are really close together. So I'm glad I know about this now, because this is just fantastic. This is what I love, is hearing the ocean waves and falling asleep to the ocean waves and waking up to this. So beautiful. Gosh. So yeah, now I can see the part that was bottomed out, which I think is supposed to do exactly what it's supposed to, which is to prevent you from, like puncturing your tanks or something, or bottoming out completely. So I've got a little bit of scratches, but it's not bent or damaged. That one's just fine. The other thing I want to look at is my tire over there, make sure it's okay, but yeah, I can't believe I came out of that little situation, pickle, unscathed. This lady over here is doing Tai Chi, I believe, which is really cool. It's actually something that I have thought of that I wanted to take up doing. It appeals to me because of the slow movements. And it's almost like a dance, which I love to dance. And I feel like it's almost meditative, so it would be a great stress reducer as well. But yeah, what a great place to do your exercise. That's her van there. All right, well, let's go for a walk. It's absolutely beautiful out there, of course. It's a little bit chilly at 54 degrees now. I'm going to have a high of 59. So I thought we'd go for a walk because this afternoon between 2 and 6 is supposed to be pretty windy. So there still might be some wind noise, and I may not be able to talk while we're out there, but we'll see how it goes. So let's go on an adventure. like the primo spot if you can get it because you're far away from everybody else. Let's go see how you get in because I couldn't see a way to get in. I guess, I don't know how this guy got his trailer situated, but he must have backed it in. Oh yeah, okay, there's a driveway right here. Slippery. The winds have been pretty intense this afternoon. I manage a vacation rental, and we have this big deck, and we can't really keep an umbrella out there because the wind just whisks it away, you know, it just gets whisked away at the coastal winds. I just took a nap, and I can't tell you how wonderful it is to sleep in here and, you know, take a nap. I don't know, it's something about just having all my windows around me and then views to all the nature and even the sun coming in. Like if I turn my back to the sun and the sun warms my back, and oh my goodness, it's like those little things in life that can just be so wonderful and joyful. I'm getting really good at this napping thing in the afternoons. Not quite getting, you know, enough sleep. So naps are now my friend. I'm not one of those people that can just nap, you know, for 10 minutes and feel satisfied. I gotta nap for an hour or two at least. So, feels really good. It's been pretty windy, as I already mentioned. And it's rocking and rolling in here. I had a lovely morning. Took you with me. I went on a nice walk down that way, and then I walked all the way. So, well, oops. Yeah, I walked all the way, you know, way over there, and then down to that little beach cove. The sand color was such a pretty color. It was like a gray color, and just, you know, sitting there and enjoying the sun there too. It was great, and it was kind of protected from all the wind too, so it was really wonderful to just try to lay down for a while, but I couldn't get comfortable. You know, I did lay down for a little while, but I would need like a little pillow, like this little pillow would have worked. I have a little pillow here, you know, a little tiny pillow to rest my head on, and a beach towel would have been great. But, you know, laying down brought back memories, you know, on the beach of laying down and taking in the sun. You know, years ago I grew up in Southern California, pretty close to the beach, and I have memories of going to the beach as a teenager and a person in my youth, going to the beach and just laying there and getting nice and red and sunburnt. But enjoying the sun's rays. I don't do that as much anymore, so it's kind of fun to do those things that, you know, you did when you were younger and you enjoyed. Aren't my socks cute? Gotten a couple of compliments on them. They have birds on them. And they're really comfortable, and they go up just the right amount, you know, the right amount of tallness. And what I liked about purchasing these, because they were like, oh, I think about $19-20. It's a company called Conscious Step, which I'm not, familiar with the company, but they donate a portion of the proceeds to animal welfare agencies and nonprofits. And so each sock, like this sock, they donate to a bird sanctuary or something like that. And other socks had other types of animals on the socks, and so they would donate to a nonprofit that took care of and was caretakers of that animal. So I love supporting that kind of thing since I'm such a lover of wildlife. Again, they're called Conscious Step. I bet you they have a website. Just sitting here on my couch, and I just cannot believe the views that I'm enjoying right now. Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful that I'm able to do this and that I have a rig that I love. And by the way, it feels great to be back in my rig. I'm really loving it. It's a cute little house. So cozy in here and comfortable. I love it. And all of my windows, oh my goodness, love my windows. So I can enjoy views like this. I could just sit here for hours and watch this. It's the last morning of my little camping trip. I'm just starting to sort of pack up reluctantly. This is such a beautiful spot that I don't want to leave just yet. I'm gonna try to linger a little longer, go for my last walk. I've been doing daily walks every day since I'm here, right along the cliffs, you know, along the ocean here for some dramatic, just gorgeous views. And then in the evenings, just sitting in the back there on my couch and looking out all my windows towards the ocean was absolutely heavenly. That was lovely to just sit back there and just look right out at the ocean. Oh my goodness. And like, because it's been pretty windy the last 2 nights, actually very windy, where the rig's been rocking and rolling. And so it was so nice to be able to still enjoy the sunset and the views and be able to sit inside where the wind wasn't blowing me to smithereens. So that makes me so, I kept thinking, gosh, out of all the campers here, I have the best view here in the back, you know. I'm like, yes. I got the right rig for a view like this, you know, because that's just spectacular. It's just so dramatic and beautiful here. It's, you know, I haven't been much this far north, and this campground is definitely one I would keep coming back to for sure. It's a little nerve-wracking that it's a first come, first serve, so I certainly won't try much during the summertime, probably just in the fall and maybe even the winter, and then the springtime, of course. I'm a little surprised, though, that it's been colder than I thought it would be. You know, it's well into springtime now. It's, you know, the temperature read 51 degrees this morning inside here. So, you know, it's definitely a bit colder at the coast. So if I was to come in the winter, I definitely would need to be prepared for the much colder weather. But I probably would try to do October or something like that. That would be a really nice time to come here. So yeah, I'll keep coming back to this one because this was spectacular. So I just enjoyed doing my walks and listening to my audiobooks and looking at the views and taking naps. Cooking myself some nice meals. I'm kind of hooked on these cauliflower tacos, and they just feel like a real treat to me, you know, because I've always loved tacos. And so to make them, instead of with beef meat, just make them with cauliflower, it just feels so healthier, and it's so tasty and delicious. So I'm glad I found a kind of a healthier version for myself. And I stuff like microgreens in there, and I make a delicious kind of cabbage slaw as well, and so it just adds a little crunch, and so good. Yeah, I was thinking earlier today about my mishap with getting stuck, and it's funny how initially I was just really scared, you know. The thoughts I had running through my head is, you're all alone out here. You're out here in kind of a remote area, and I don't see anybody around, and you probably, when you call AAA, if you do, they're going to take forever, and I was right about that. And I was worried that I had hurt my rig. Now, I have yet to drive it today. The truck driver, as well as the park ranger, told me later, he said, yeah, if somebody had tried to pull you out, it probably really would have damaged the that thing that was stuck. And with the winching, they could lift it up a little bit and then pull me out. So that's kind of what was needed, was to be lifted up and out. It was good to have the truck driver do it, the expert do it, because he went through the actual tow hitch in the back. That's how he put hooked it up. And maybe a non-expert wouldn't have known that was the safest way to do it. So yeah, so I was so worried that, you know, I was going to be stuck and nobody was going to come around. And then it turns out a lot of people ended up coming around, and then the park rangers came around and then they really helped out. And so I didn't feel so all alone. And that really helped me a lot to not panic. Now, if I had been in a remote area and nobody was around, I just would have been scared out of my gourd, you know. And I'm in an area where I also just feel safe, you know. I don't know, the quality of the people just was really great, you know. So I just felt safe and not worried about the characters around here. You know, the park ranger, after the hours were ticking by and AAA was not showing up, they said, there's a guy who will come get you out right now, but you'll have to pay $600. And I almost was going to go for it. But because, you know, I think by that point, 3 or 4 hours had gone by and I thought it's starting to get dark now, you know. But I made the decision, no, let me call AAA. You know, I had to call AAA 3 times. I probably should have called them sooner the first time. I think I waited like 2.5 hours before I called. Kind of funny because I was sitting in the park ranger truck and I heard my name come over the CB radio, and I'm like, oh, wow. That's funny. How did they get my name? I don't know how they got my name. I guess they probably somehow got it from the tow truck company. I don't know what happened or how they knew it. But in any case, I got out of that pickle and got into my, you know, campsite here by about, I don't know, a little shortly before 9 o'clock. So it all turned out okay, and now I just have to drive it and make sure it's okay. So I'm going to go out for my last walk and then start packing up and getting ready, and I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me on my little weekend camping trip. Thanks for hanging out with me.